It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see Tony Pollard. He was steady for them on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Thunderbirds and the Panthers on Monday Night Prime Time.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we finish off Week 4 with a good Monday night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Toronto Thunderbirds. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Toronto ball club as they enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is. But to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Well, we know it's a tough mission for this defense to hold them to a field goal after that long kick return, but they're one play away from doing it.
They certainly are very close to accomplishing what they needed to get done because they've treated this like a sudden change. You know, when the offense turns the ball over on a fumble or an interception, before you go out, you get together as a defense and go, sudden change, keep your poise, be ready to go. That's exactly what this group has done.
They'll run here with Pierce. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Now to Mechie on the jet sweep. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll run forward with Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Tony Pollard, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Thunderbirds' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. And that one is his 2nd fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mills. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on on the season. And the Thunderbirds are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. But a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here are the Panthers backed up to start their initial drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And when you watch Corral play, you have to be impressed with just how fearless he is in any situation. Excellent in the pocket, accurate, ball gets out of his hands quickly. He also can break out and create big plays as well, often with his legs. A tough runner, a tough leader. This guy has big-time potential.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Being a 3rd and 3. Third down, Corral. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On third down, Corral. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Mills to throw it. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 45-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Mills. And it's caught. Touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His first touchdown on the year. And the Thunderbirds have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Robbie Anderson and his Carolina Panther offense, they trot back out there.
There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
They find some open field here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Corral looking to pass, second down. He's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Robbie Anderson, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have got it back to within a score.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Throwing, Mills. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 32-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now to Mechie on the jet sweep. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Chase Claypool in the final seconds of the first half. And the Thunderbirds would extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Desmond Ridder, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for Carolina. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, on the other side, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long.
Corral looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, what have I done before? This worked well that I can go to right now.
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 41 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and the lead will stay put at 17. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Corral lost it. The ball is out. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
On 4th down, they're going to try the jet sweep. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the home team here, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town.